Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. Fans, brews, and Broncos news.
What's up, Broncos Country? Welcome to another edition of Bourbon, Broncos, and No BS. My name's 𝐃𝐞𝐬𝐳. We got a couple Davids out on the loose missing. It's Spotty and David. Not sure where they're at, but we were working on that. David's running a little, Spotty's running a little late, but we'll see if we can get him in here. Either way, guys, I'm glad to be here with you. And go ahead and post your comments, post your questions, hit that share button. We got a ton of Broncos stuff to talk about tonight. First things first, guys, if you didn't recognize this, next Tuesday, we will know the Broncos 53-man roster. Now, a lot of them got more or less their final big chance to really showcase their skills and the reason for why Sean Payton should keep them on the team this last week in the Arizona Cardinals game here in Denver. Now, fortunate for us, not so fortunate for Sean Payton and the coaching staff. The players did incredibly well. The depth players, the backups, they went out there and absolutely dominated from beginning to end. And so now we're faced with a situation where we kind of have too much talent, believe it or not. And so what do we do with that? We got to just try to figure out who the right pieces are. Hope some of them make them through their waiver wire so we can keep them on the practice squad. But otherwise, guys, there are going to be some players that we know probably going to be gone this time next week. So we're going to have to see about that. I want to hear from you guys. Who are you worried about the Broncos potentially losing, or any potential trades that we could be offering? Because now we're in a situation with there's too much talent. Maybe some other team that needs talent is going to be willing to put up some bargaining chips, some players, or draft picks, or a combination of the two to make something happen. Let's see. Sean, how you doing? Glad to see you here. Yeah, little tug on the beard for luck. We'll see if this works. I've never done that before, but hey, it's only crazy if it doesn't work. And so if a little beard tug helps us win some games this year, I'll keep doing it. I like it, man. And I'll just go and say that we're going to beat the Saints even if our third string players were playing against their starters, because the Saints are just an absolutely nightmare team this year. Not in a good way, expecting them to be the worst in the league. So if you're drafting your fantasy football teams in the near future, don't get anybody on the Saints or anything with the Saints. Let's see, question here. From my dad, how you doing? Nik Bonitto getting surgery on his foot. So we did see, looks like he got a little banged up in the first preseason game after he essentially got 3 sacks in a row. It was just freaking amazing to see what he did. But maybe some bone spurs on the top of his foot there that he needed to get a procedure for. Sounds like that got done today. It's going well. No issues from Sean Payton or anybody else saying that we're expecting him to miss any sort of time. This is more, look, he has 2.5 weeks, a little bit more than 2.5 weeks to kind of recover from this and get back out there. So maybe he starts the season off a little slower. But when you're playing the Tennessee Titans this year, especially in week 1, I think we're going to be okay. Again, you go back to that depth. Things like this are going to happen. And when a player goes down, that's not a reason to panic for Broncos country anymore, at least the way it looks right now, because the depth we have on this team is looking phenomenal. These guys know that when their name is called, they have to go out there. And the expectation is, it doesn't matter if you're a backup, doesn't matter if you're a third string. When you're out there, you better be ready to go. If not, you'll be going to some other team. That's for sure. So Nik Bonitto, not too worried about him. It sounds like everything's going well. It also sounds like there's some contract updates for the negotiations there to get him a contract extension before the start of the season. Would not be surprised to see that. And I would say that definitely expect to see Nik Bonitto out on the field week 1. Hey, Sean. Yeah, thanks, man. Got a nice little. I'm not going to reveal my magic to you guys. I got to keep some suspense there. And if I give away all my secrets, then everybody's going to be a podcaster. Okay. And I have, there's enough competition out there already. So look, it's Broncos Mile High Magic. That's what we'll just say that. Glad to see you here, buddy. Man, I definitely appreciate the support. It's always good to see you pop up in here on the shows. Doing great, man. We're here talking Broncos. What could be wrong with that? Look, the fact that we are less than 3 weeks away from week 1 is absolutely mind-blowing. In a way, this offseason flew by, and with a lot of good news. It started with the playoff game the Broncos were in. I mean, yeah, that did not end the way that we wanted it to, but I think it's going to pay off. I think the Broncos took that game into the offseason with them. They have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they need to show and prove to everybody that wasn't a fluke. Getting into the playoffs last year was not a fluke. I know we believe that, but there's still a lot of Broncos doubters out there. And until you see Bo Nix kind of put together a solid second season in a row here, there's still going to be a lot of doubters. And heck, he could put on 10 amazing seasons in a row and there would still be Bo Nix haters out there, but that's beside the point. So it's been a lot of good stuff, and we're here so we can look through all of that stuff, guys. But it all boils down to getting through this last preseason game, hopefully healthy, and then roster cut down by this time next week, guys. I think it's 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And so when we're sitting here next week talking to you guys, we're going to know who is on the player. I'm the only saint you see. Check your eyes. I'm worried that you might need some glasses there. Glad to see you here. Roy, glad to see you here as well, man. Yeah, it is always tough to see good players let go. And, the Broncos haven't really had that issue in previous years. I think, we obviously saw one last year. And I would not be surprised if you see one or two. Like 𝐒𝐚𝐳𝐬𝐽, nobody, from what I'm seeing, nobody is predicting 𝐒𝐚𝐳𝐬𝐽 to make the 53-man roster. This is a guy that we're probably going to cut and not even think about putting on the practice squad. I would not be surprised if he's just gone. The third running back position, to me, guys, it real boils down to Bidet and McLaughlin, with McLaughlin having the edge. You keep Bidet on the practice squad in case something happens. But I don't see Sean Payton carrying 4 running backs and a fullback. It just doesn't add up there. When you only have 53 roster spots, you got to make some tough calls. So 𝐒𝐚𝐳𝐬𝐽, I think this Saturday is going to be his last in a Broncos jersey. And he just hasn't shown it. He has not gone out there and given any good reason to this coaching staff for why he should be considered to stay on the team there. I'll pull up some stats here for you guys, but it's going to be interesting to see. And so when we do see that a couple of the guys that we maybe really like, or we think that we've seen really good stuff from, it doesn't mean that they're a bad player. It's just when we're in a situation here where the team has so much depth and so much talent, you got to make cuts. And it sucks to see, but at the same time, it's good to kind of be in this position. I won't lie, because how many years in the past have we been in this position where players get cut and we either, don't care, or it's just like, yeah, we have no depth. Everything's, we're changing out coaches and quarterbacks, and it was just so much rotating door situations left and right that we were dealing with. It just tough to handle. So I don't know, guys. I kind of would rather be in this situation, and then just best of luck to whatever players we cut, whoever's gone. I don't know. Best of luck to them, and we'll see what happens. Derek, buddy, always good to see you as well. You believe? Do you believe? I don't know. Because unless you have a believe sign, I think this is how you can really tell if somebody believes or not. So, no, the belief thing is real. And I think the vast majority of Broncos fans are so excited to, if anything, just experience some quarterback consistency between seasons. Between Paxton Lynch And all the names from there, and Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, you name them all. We now have a situation where our quarterback, for the first time for him, has the same coach 2 years in a row, basically. And then for the Broncos, the first time since Peyton Manning was here that we've had the same ownership, the same GM, the same coach, and the same quarterback 2 years in a row. Guys, Peyton Manning retired coming up on 10 years ago. And this is the first time we have had that. So the fact we're seeing some consistency there is just mind-boggling. Okay. Sean, don't stop, Sean. The trusty Broncos teeds of the Valkyrie will trample the Golden Saints. I won't even say the Saints are golden. They're rusted. There's nothing gold about the Saints. Even on their jersey, it's more just pea yellow. It's just, they are in a bad position. I have nothing against the Saints. It's just they are a mess. And this is where people are talking about. You look at the Sean Payton effect. What Sean Payton had built in New Orleans has since, over the course of 3 years now, just totally evaporated. And he's come out here and built that culture out here, coming into his third year now with the Denver Broncos, which is phenomenal to see as well. So, but no, Sean, you don't have to stop. I appreciate the humor as we go through here. So, guys, keep the comments coming in. Hit the share button, hit the like button, all that good stuff. We are back with these full hour-long shows, guys. It's our preseason too, so we are working out the bugs on our side, but it is good to be back as we ramp up into the season here. So let's see. Keith, how you doing? Unless Estime runs like Barry Sanders this next game, he is gone. Man, I don't know, Keith. To be honest with you, I think if that were to happen, which obviously we don't think is going to happen, but even if that were to happen, I don't think that's enough. And you look back to what happened at the end of the year last season. Estime worked his way back up into Sean Payton's good graces following his early season cut in a couple fumbles there, which, understandable for a rookie to have that situation. But he worked his way back up and was, looking fairly good. We were talking about this on last night's show about how, it was just so surprising to everybody to see Audric Estime as a game day healthy scratch in the game against the Bills, in place of Tyler Bidet, who I like, and I think he has a lot of promise, but he hadn't played since he was injured. And so we're going into this playoff game with Tyler Bidet instead of Audric Estime, and we just got to wonder what happened there. What happened? And for as much time and energy as everybody has spent talking about what went down with Audric Estime to where he was not allowed to play against the Bills, something happened. Something happened, and I just wish Sean Payton would tell us. Like, just say he took my parking spot that day, and now I'm pissed at him, or something like that. Just say what it is so we can stop wondering and move on with our lives. But the fact of the matter is, whatever happened at the end of last season is seriously, in some ways, continued on to the preseason, in that you see Audric Estime going out there in the first preseason game with the threes, and then last week he was out there. He was the last back to get any touches, and his stats were not good. I think he only ran, let me pull this up here, an average of 2.2 yards per carry on 9 carries, 20 yards. Like, that's not going to get you a position on the team. Whereas Jaleel McLaughlin, 3 carries for 48 yards. And then you're also battling with Blake Watson, 10 carries for 34. So Blake Watson had essentially 1 more carry for 14 more yards total and averaged 3.4 yards per carry. Sorry, somebody has the advantage there. So part of what Sean Payton's looking for is consistency, and that's what we should be expecting and looking for as well. So even if Estime goes out there next week and this Saturday and just plays amazing football, I don't think it's enough. I think at this point, Audric Estime's fate is sealed. And I hate to see it because we did, spend that draft pick on him, and there were high hopes, high expectations for him. I mean, the guy's built like a beast, and I don't doubt that he's going to get signed by some other team, but it ain't going to be with the Broncos. He is not going to even be considered for the Broncos practice squad. There are too many other running backs here between McLaughlin, Watson, Bidet that are trying to fight for that spot. And so what, you're going to carry one extra player on the practice squad for the running back position, maybe two, but out of that bunch, 𝐒𝐚𝐳𝐳 is on the outside looking in. And so I don't know where he's going to land, but best of luck to him. Hopefully he can pick it up and turn things around wherever he goes. Okay, Sean, big question here. I don't know. This is going to be tough because these guys, again, you're talking about depth. And the funny thing is, I know I said it on last night's show as well. You hear other people talking about the Broncos wide receiver room. They talk about, well, they have Courtland Sutton, but that's it. They don't have anyone besides Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton's not even a number one wide receiver. Like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Look at Pat Bryant. What about Troy Franklin? Evan Ingram, who was a wide receiver in a tight end's body. The list goes on and on and on. I think, maybe Jaquan Davis makes it barely if we decide to do that. But what about Trent Sherfield as well? These are guys that, again, you have to make tough decisions, and you only have 53 spots. So I think when it comes to wide receiver, I think you almost go with 6 and then keep 2 on the practice squad. So that would give you 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback. There's 4 of the 10 positions on the practice squad. And you're not even talking about defensive players at that point either, any offensive linemen or anything like that. So I think you keep 1 or 2 on the practice squad and you have 6 on the active roster. So we'll see. And maybe one of them is on the active roster, but only in a special teams capacity. But they're listed as wide receivers. So we'll see, Sean. I mean, that one, it's going to be tough. And, we'll look to see how these guys do in this upcoming game. That might give us a little better picture of what Sean Payton is thinking and where they might go. But fact of the matter is, guys, again, these are going to be tough decisions that need to be made here in the coming days. Okay, let's see here. Skip some comments. Jose, I've been hearing, let's see, there's a good chance of making the Super Bowl this year. Look, we got into the playoffs last year. We got to a playoff game. But what we saw last year was the Broncos were not at the level to be able to compete for a deep playoff run. That doesn't mean to say that they couldn't have done that this season. And when you have a defense as scary as ours, and an offense that, as long as they're above average, they don't even have to be amazing. They just have to be above average. This is a team that can easily win 12 games, maybe more, right? Maybe 13 games. I don't think they're going to go undefeated just because that has happened once in the history of the NFL. But once you're in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen, especially if you win your division. Maybe you're one of the top seeds. You play most of the games at home. That's very promising. So, you have a chance to string together some wins and make the deep playoff push. But definitely what these guys saw last year was, while they were good enough to make it to the playoffs, they were not good enough yet to be seriously considered for a Super Bowl team. Playoff run team, making it to the divisional game, yeah, sure, maybe. Conference game, yeah, that's possible. A little less possible with Super Bowl. I just don't know yet, right? We're going to have to see how these guys look throughout the course of the season. Can they stay healthy? Can they stay consistent? So I think that's a conversation for down the road as we see how this team progresses. I'd say, there's not a 0% chance. It's definitely above a 0% chance. But these guys are still young. They still have a lot of experience to gain, and it's only going to come with time and getting out there on the field and learning the Sean Payton more in depth. The other thing you got to keep in mind, guys, is Sean Payton is basically installing his full playbook, his full system this year. And That wasn't the case last year. What we saw last year was not the Sean Payton offense. So there might still be some growing pains with his offense in the first 4 weeks. Even Sean Payton came out and said, don't expect to really have a good idea of where this team is at until about maybe a quarter way through the season. At that point, yeah, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of where these guys are at and what they're capable of. But there's still going to be some growing pains on offense. So does that mean we drop some games because of offense? I don't know. Hopefully not with our defense. But it'll be interesting to see for sure. Okay, James, how you doing, man? I keep both Jacksons, and I would trade PJ Locke or Mathis. Mathis is a name that is definitely being thrown around as potential trade bait. And our secondary, our backfield is so deep that other teams, I would not be surprised, are looking at somebody like Mathis or somebody like PJ Locke and saying, this is a guy that we know could improve our team. And when you have a player like that potentially getting cut to make, going into the 53-man roster, some teams might be desperate enough to be willing to trade versus try to see if they make it, can they get the person on the waiver wire for free when there's high quality player as experienced as well as Locke and Mathis. So I would not be surprised to see if one of those players gets traded, and it'd be very beneficial for the Broncos. Very beneficial, because if they don't offer a good trade, then say, nah, we'll just put him on the waiver wire and see what happens. Good luck to you, So these teams, we have the leverage on our side, which is, again, something that we are not used to seeing here in Broncos country over the last 9 years. The pigskin aficionados with the Broncos cornucopia of talent will be serving up a delectable variance of amazing, heart-pounding excitement. Yeah, that was a mouthful. I like it. Jose, any updates on Terry McLaurin? Look, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I would not be surprised if you just see Terry McLaurin, scary Terry, stay with Washington this year. I don't think the Broncos are going to. We have the talent and the depth already at wide receiver. Wide receiver is not a position we're hurting in. So why would we give up any of our other players or give up any draft picks? And they're going to ask for a lot. I mean, you're talking about at least 1 first-round pick and a second-round pick, if not 2 first-round. I mean, I would not be surprised if they just asked for something ridiculous for this guy. I'm not saying that makes sense, right? But if they go out there and they say, we want next year's first, next year's second, and the year after that second pick as well, and then maybe throw in a player as well. We're not desperate. We got our guys. Sean Payton has his people. So any talk you're hearing about the Broncos trading for him, I'd say is clickbait at this point, especially this close to the season. If it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. Let's see who else said. Sir Gary. Yes. Tip of the hat to you. D-Rock's in the house. How you doing, man? Glad to see you here. Yeah, let me pull up the chat so everybody can see the comments here. Let's see. Again, hit that like, share, and follow button, guys. It does make me giggle, and it makes me cry myself to sleep when you don't press those buttons. And you don't. It's a very big, crocodile tear, lots of heavy sobbing that occurs, and it's not a pretty sight. So help me not have to go through that. My wife points and laughs when that happens. I'm just kidding. All right, Roy, I would say, Jose, let's see, wasn't for the cap space and for all younger players plus playing others on our own. Yeah, it's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, that's the other thing is we're still hindered by our cap space this year. About 35 million in dead cap space money from the Russell Wilson thing. So next year, guys, next year is going to be interesting in free agency because the Denver Broncos, I'm not even say are becoming, they have become a destination team, especially if this year goes the way that we think it will. This is a destination team. Players are going to want to come here. And so when we have this, I think it's like $80+ million of cap space available for us, which is why you're seeing us do some contract extensions now. I would not be surprised to see some bigger signings for the Broncos next offseason. Obviously, we're not going to go break the bank just because we can. We want to build a team organically through the draft, which is what look at the depth of this team, guys. How can you not look at this roster and just be like amazed at the fact that we have done such a great job at building through the draft? Because, for all the good that John Elway did for the team, we would not have gotten Peyton Manning if it had not been for John Elway. We would not have won those 2 other Super Bowls had it not been for John Elway. John Elway could not draft worth crap. He just couldn't. John Elway's mindset of, we're 1 or 2 players away from a Super Bowl again. Let's just go worry about getting players in free agency. And I don't care if these free agents are like injured all the time. We're still going to do that and then be surprised when it doesn't work. John Elway, his off-season management of the team is part of what's taking us so long to get out of this hole. And the fact that Sean Payton and company have done this in such a short amount of time is absolutely mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. Okay, let's see. Badoo. D-Rock is in the house, bringing the Riz. Oh, I like that. It's just like current day slang. I like it. Don't be talking about any skibbity toilet crap in the comments here. Might block you for that. Pat Bryant. The play that I want to liken or like really point out was early in the first quarter there. Jarrett Stidham threw the ball, and it was slightly behind Pat Bryant. And more or less in midair, Pat Bryant turned his body to make the catch. And that's just not something you would expect or could honestly expect from a rookie to make that adjustment. And then you see the way Pat Bryant tries to find a way to get open when the pocket's collapsing and the quarterback's running out, trying to find Pat Bryant has clearly a very high football IQ and football situational awareness when he's out on the field. So this is a guy that, man, I'm incredibly excited to see what Pat Bryant looks like come the start of the season. And then you add Troy Franklin, who, again, if he just, catches the ball a little more consistently, especially on some of those long passes, you're talking about now we have Courtland Sutton, we have Pat Bryant, we have Troy Franklin, we have Evan Ingram. You have Bo Nix throwing the ball. Like, how can you not get excited about this at all? All right. Sean says to me, it's 1 Harvey, 2 McLaughlin, 3 Bidet. I think if you're talking about an order, obviously J.K. Dobbins will have the number 1 spot. R.J. Harvey will have the number 2 spot. And then you're looking at McLaughlin or Bidet for that third roster spot. I would agree with that order if you just add J.K. at the beginning there, obviously. But Bidet, I think, is going to get his chance again. Obviously, we saw some flashes from him last year before he got injured, and I don't know what that would have looked like had he stayed healthy and been able to get more experience and more touches during the course of the season. But I think with this offseason, getting him a chance to get healthy and get back in shape for this season, he goes to the practice squad. That doesn't mean that we're not going to see him again. I think he's going to have chances. And heck, maybe we do carry 4 running backs, because do you really want to risk losing Tyler Bidet through the waiver wire? Is that something you risk? Because behind him, you're looking at what's his name, Blake Watson. And what's the talent gap between Blake Watson and Tyler Bidet there? So again, maybe you do keep 4 running backs just to stay safe. Let's see. Michael's in the house. Michael, good to see you here as always, buddy. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to catch up with these comments here in a second, but it is halftime here at Bourbon Broncos and NO B.S. So a couple things to go through, everybody. Again, we are back with our full show lineup, guys, starting Monday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Time for the post-game podcast. We'll be doing that every Monday night from here on out until the end of the season. Whenever that might be, maybe late January, maybe February, we'll see. But Monday nights at 8 p.m. post-game podcast live on all the different platforms. And then this show, of course, guys, our flagship show, the show we've been doing for the full solid 10 years now as we go into our 10th season at the show here. 7 p.m. Mountain Time. As always, it is a 10-year tradition, and that is not going to die anytime soon. So join us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time for this. Also, make sure you're following us on all the different podcast platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podchaser, whatever you do to listen to podcasts, we are there. So make sure you look up Bourbon Broncos and NO B.S. And you can listen to the pregame podcast that we put out, and then we always take these and put them up on the podcast sites as well. So if you can't catch us when we're live, you can listen to us while you're driving your car or whatnot, working the day away and just want some background noise and have some fun listening to something hopefully mildly entertaining. Follow us on all those different places as well. And then, of course, game day, guys. We got our pregame show, the Tailgate Talk, 1 hour before kickoff for every game. And I'm telling you what, when the Broncos play in London this year, I think kickoff is like 7 a.m. Mountain Time, or maybe it's 8 a.m. It's going to be an early pregame show that day, guys, but doesn't matter. We're going to be doing it. And then the original live halftime show. Nobody else was doing a halftime show when we started doing it. Check out the halftime hash every halftime of every single Broncos game. And then also for more Broncos content, where you can find all the links to follow us, our latest episodes, our latest podcasts, articles, a really cool fan interaction section that I'm still building. It's under construction. Stick with me, guys. Go over to broncosandbourbon.com. Sign up for free today. Everybody who signs up this season is going to be automatically upgraded for free to the next level membership tier when we introduce those next season. For now, there's no tiers, but you will all get upgraded automatically. And then I do have one little Easter egg hidden on that site for somebody to find. Once you find it, send us a message about what you think it is. And if you are correct, you will be getting a free lifetime membership, top tier membership that you will get automatically upgraded to. So if we get so popular that we are offering a $250 membership, another 10 years from now, you don't have to worry about paying that, because you're going to be the only person that has the free membership for life, and you'll get a special little badge and all that cool little stuff. I'm not going to do this for anybody else. This is a one-time deal, guys. So go to the website, broncosandbourbon.com, and see if you can find it. Okay, let's get back to some Broncos talk, guys. Glad you are here tonight, and I'm going to do some quick roll through the comments, guys, so keep them coming in as I catch up. All right, Badoo, D-Rock, I think we're on the same trajectory as the Detroit Lions. That's an amazing thing. First off, you think back to even 10 years ago, the Lions were the Lions, right? But Dan Campbell has come in there, and look at the culture that he's created with the Lions. This is a team that I think anywhere from this year to the next 5+ years, they're definitely in a Super Bowl window for sure. That's a team that can go out there and would not surprise anybody if they won a Super Bowl. But then for D-Rock, that's a great comparison. And I think it's true, too. I wouldn't disagree with that. But to say that the Broncos are on the same trajectory as the Lions, that's a really good thing to say right now. I love it. Let's see. Gary, don't call me late for dinner. Let's see. It's not an unrealistic goal. I completely agree, man. Completely agree. Chris is in the house. Good to see you as always, too, buddy. Sean says, has Sean said if starters are going to get reps to third preseason game? Good question. So, yes, starters will play in this third preseason game. Do not expect them to be out there more than 2 drives. If they get 10 reps, maybe 12 total reps, 12 snaps, that's probably the max. Because, again, it's preseason. You're playing the Saints. It is not worth the injury. It's not worth the risk. So let those guys get out, continue to brush off some of the cobwebs, get rid of some of the rust, but get them out there for 10 reps or so and then pull them, Let these other guys who are fighting for some of those other roster spots to have a chance to really go out there and make a name for themselves. And if anything, you're also looking at, can you drive the value up of some of these players? So when other teams are looking to potentially make trades ahead of the waiver wire, next week, that's, another good thing for the Broncos to do. So these starters do not need a ton of reps to get ready for the Titans game, which, to be honest, I think our team could go out there and play average, which the defense is not going to play average. They're going to play freaking lights out, top notch. I do not see any realistic chance of the Broncos losing to the Titans unless just something absolutely weird happens, which, knock on wood, that does not happen. So, yes, starters will play this week, but not for very much. So don't blink. Make sure you catch the beginning of the game. Oh, man, the show has officially started. Once Clayton hops in the show, you know Bourbon, Broncos, and No B.S. has started. Clayton, glad to see you here, man. And again, hit that share and like button for us, guys. Yeah, Mike, totally agree. Stidham looks really good. And, God forbid something happens. I don't even want to think about this more than I have to. But if you have to throw Jarrett Stidham out there, I'm kind of feeling confident. Again, you don't need your backup quarterback to go out there and win you the game. They just need to not lose you the game. And what Jarrett Stidham is doing is showing that he has a really good understanding of Sean Payton, the system, the players around him. He knows how to protect the football. And that is just the key when it comes to your backup quarterback. Can they protect the football, not create turnovers, not do stupid things to put your team in a terrible situation, right? So when you look at Jarrett Stidham, man, I'm glad we have him as our backup right now. He's looking really good, and he's having the time of his life. Broncos fans for life. Glad to see you on the show. The Rooks and Troy. I like it. He's also the reason why Broncos didn't take Josh. Yeah, so I think you're talking about John Elway there. Yeah, so why we didn't get Josh Allen? Yeah, but here's the thing, and people say this like, we could have gotten Josh Allen. Yes. I know we could have gotten Josh Allen. But do you really think that Josh Allen would have thrived or succeeded in any capacity the way the Broncos were operating? What was it, 7 years ago? When did he get drafted? Let's see. You guys are going to check me, but I'll do this myself. Josh Allen drafted in 2018. So, yeah, 7 years ago, Josh Allen was drafted. The way the Broncos were 7 years ago, do you really think that Josh Allen would have succeeded? No. Until Josh Allen got cut or traded to another team, he wouldn't have started doing well with the Broncos. When you have such a mess between ownership and GM and head coaches and all these other things going on, Josh Allen would not have done well with the Broncos. I like Josh Allen. I have a lot of respect for him. He does a lot of great things for his community. And it would have been great to have him on the team, but it wouldn't have been great for him to be on the Broncos 7 years ago. So keep that in mind too, guys. Like, in some ways, as much as the last 8 years have sucked, 9 years have sucked, up until last year, it kind of seems like to be for the best, Even the terrible Russell Wilson trade, it kind of put us in this position to where now look what we have. We have Bo Nix. And everybody around the league was laughing at us last year. A lot of you Broncos fans that are maybe watching the show right now were pissed off that we got Bo Nix last year. Ha ha! Joke's on you. So, yeah, I'll call you out. I will find the video of you being pissed of us getting Bo Nix when you're also making the celebratory Super Bowl post that we're going to win eventually, and then just rub your face in it. So, Michael, Benito's always a beast. Like, that's another, like, even if he wasn't injured to the point where he needed a procedure done, he doesn't need any more playing time this preseason. Like, he showed when he was out there, sack. They're not even bringing more than 4 people in the pressure. Like, they're not blitzing. And he was still getting back there. Like, get out of here. This guy is going to be such trouble for other teams. I'm so glad he's with the Broncos. Angelo, good question, man. Cuts are due. I think it's 2 p.m. Mountain Time next Tuesday. So when you come back here next week, Angelo, and we're sitting here on Tuesday night, we're talking, we are going to have the 53-man roster for us guys to break down and talk about. We're going to know who got cut. We're going to be able to talk about who we think is going to, hopefully make it through the waiver wire for us to bring back to the practice squad. But we are less than a week away from the final cuts being done and having our 53-man roster for the season. So it is coming by fast. Yeah, Roy, there you go. Perfect. August 27th at 4 p.m., I think at Eastern time. So 2 p.m. here. Sean says, I forgot JK. Understandable. He hasn't done anything in preseason, and that's fine. He tends to get injured, right? And we want him to be healthy through the first half of the season, at least until 𝐁𝐫𝐸 has more experience and more confidence to be able to take a larger role. I would not be surprised if by game 10, 11, 12, you see 𝐁𝐫𝐸 going out there as the starter. Hopefully not too much sooner than that, because it probably means J.K. Dobbins got injured again. But J.K. Dobbins is a beast. Look, what he had basically a 1,000-yard rushing season last year, and I think he missed a couple games too. So I mean, like, this guy is a pretty good pickup for the Broncos if he can stay healthy and allow 𝐁𝐫𝐸 to get some time to learn and grow into his role there. So let's see. Brad Smith. Well, I can tell you this much. We're going to have wide receivers that can block. Our wide receivers, any of our wide receivers, will have more blocks than Jerry Jeudy. Brad, glad to see you here as always, buddy. From across the sea, our friend Brad Smith, resident Jerry Jeudy fan, and is always a blast to have on the show. We were talking about you last night. We made a Jerry Jeudy comment, and so you need to go back and watch the show because we mentioned you, buddy. Paul, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you here in the comments as well. Let's see, where are the other two Duhas? That's a very good question, and we might be having some conversations after the show. I don't know. They're leaving me here. You guys don't want to hear my voice for a whole hour. I mean, I don't know why you're still sticking around. It's okay. The pain only lasts for 15 more minutes, and then I'll let you guys go. So we'll see. They're also, they don't want to be injured before the start of the season. So they're kind of like the starters. They're taking it easy, making excuses. So let's see, Angelo. Nobody cares about JJ. Oh, man. I like it. Clayton, going on a limb. But for talent-wise, hands down, one of the best rosters. Yeah, I'm going to say I don't know if they're one of the best rosters yet. We need to see, because they're so young, right? Some of these guys still have things to improve from last season, like Troy Franklin. Devon Vele sounds like he's hurt, but he hasn't done anything during training camp. For anybody who's been following training camp, have you heard anything about Devon Vele? No. And if anything, the only times I hear anybody talking about Devon Vele is when they're talking about how he hasn't done anything during training camp. So it's interesting that we're going through this all the wide receiver breakdown, and there's no mention of Devon Vele at all. I mean, regardless of him not playing because he's injured. That's another guy that do not be surprised if Devon Vele gets cut, just again, because we have such depth. Now, depending on what the coaches have seen, and I know he looked very consistent last season, and I'm a big Devon Vele fan. I would not be happy if we cut him. But again, when you have so much talent, you got to make decisions. So I do like where this roster is at. I do think the potential for these guys to go out there, as every day that goes by, you're hearing more and more and more people go, yeah, the more I look at this Broncos team, they're kind of a dark horse. At first it was like, oh yeah, whatever. Last year was a fluke. Then it was like, well, maybe last year wasn't a fluke. Now it's, you guys need to be careful about Bo Nix. This defense is going to destroy you if you are not careful. Forget about the Broncos offense. This defense will absolutely tear you to shreds. I said last night, I wouldn't be surprised if, the week leading up to the Broncos game, whatever team is playing us, that quarterback probably doesn't even need to eat a salad. He knows he's going to be eating so much grass on Sunday that's going to take care of his vegetable intake and greenery intake, whatever, for the next month, right? So they're going to be sitting on their, behind so often, being, tackled and sacked and all this stuff. This defense is real. So look, this is a very talented offense, but they need a roster, but they need to go out there and actually prove it, that they can execute and win these games. Because when you are considered that, a team to watch out for, other teams are going to show up because they are, they don't want to get embarrassed. So you better be ready to meet that challenge every single week. Nobody's going to be sleeping on us this year, guys. Maybe at the beginning of the season, but by halfway through the season, guys, nobody's going to be sleeping on us, especially with our defense. So BroncosandBourbon.com. Have you guys signed up yet? Have you? I know you haven't, because I can see the user list, and I know you haven't. We have 13 people. That's almost as many people as we have signed up on the website. So you guys are going to want to go do that. Paul, I'm banging tables for pre-scoring on the 53. Yeah, I saw there was a video his wife made, like taking their kid to the game last week. And come with me as I go see my daddy play a football game, right? It was just a really cool story. So, yeah, I mean, again, this is a guy that I would say at least he's on the practice squad. You know, I think he's shown some good stuff during preseason, but when you only have so many spots, I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, Paul, starters, I'm thinking 1 to 2 series, 10 to 12 snaps, like not much more than that. They're not going to be out there beyond 2 series. You know, that's going to be it. Let's see. Paul says, when I drink alone, I prefer to be myself. Well, when you drink alone on game day, you don't have to be. Just come over to BroncosandBourbon.com. We have a game day chat for all the members to go in and chat with other Broncos fans as you have your drink. In one hand, you got a TV in front of you with the Broncos game, and your phone in the other hand as you're typing away your instant reactions to everything going on in the game. So, but that's good. When I drink alone, I prefer to drink by myself. I just had to twist that into another little plug, so I appreciate the help there, man. Paul, it's DMAC in the chat. Is DMAC in the chat bringing up Alan? Oh, DMAC. I could say thanks. I'm just going to move on. Victor's in the chat. Good to see you as always. And a great backup to boot. We have, I don't know which one you're talking about because we have so many. Let's see, guys. Okay. 10 minutes to go. We're going to do some lightning rounds with these comments. So here we go. Shout out to Jonah Ellis. I mean, what are you going to do? Double team Cooper and leave Benito one-on-one? Are you going to put 2 guys on Benito and leave Cooper on the other side? And what if one of those other players aren't out there? Are you going to just ignore Jonah Ellis? If you ignore Jonah Ellis and you only put him one-on-one as well because you're double manning Benito on the other side, that ain't going to work very well for you. So Jonah Ellis, this guy is a beast and making some real noise and trouble in the backfield. Yeah, Jonah Ellis, you're talking again about depth. Like, he is our third string edge rusher there and stuff, but he is not to be trifled with. That's for sure. Week 1, Sherfield was a standout. Week 2, Franklin was a standout. I would even say week 2, Pat Bryant was kind of a standout too. But yeah, Franklin was right there with them. Week 3, who will be the standout? We'll have to wait and see, man. Let's see. Looking at this, let me see if there's any names that I'm kind of hoping to see more of when it comes to the receiving game. You know, it'd be interesting to see if Jaquan Davis goes out there and does some stuff, because I know he's fighting for one of those last available spots. But again, Prescorn, you know, Caden Prescorn, number 86. He had 3 catches for 52 yards. That's good. You know, I would say that he has a very good chance of making the team. Well, a fairly good chance of making the team. Of course, there's a lot of other things that the coaching staff and everyone takes into account that we're just not privy to because we don't know what's going on behind closed doors there. Let's see. Paul says, Bryant. Yep, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from Pat Bryant. It seems like that could be a very solid 3rd round pickup for the Broncos there. Do you see Benito in the Von Miller mode as far as being explosive off the line? I think he can. Yeah, it's tough to compare because Von Miller was just in a league of his own. Can Benito? I mean, you know, you're comparing 2 different body sizes and everything like that. But yeah, I think you can. He has the talent, he has the skill, the capability, and he's shown that you let him get a half-second head start on you, he's gone, right? You have got to be ready to get off the block there in the second the millisecond the ball is snapped, to be able to stop Benito or have a chance of stopping Benito, because anything that you're off at all, Benito's gone. So yeah, Victor, I don't expect to see Bonito. At this point, he hasn't shown that he's reading the cadence as much as maybe Von Miller was. You always saw Von Miller kind of jump off sides time to time, because he was getting really good at figuring out the cadence. So teams were then having to change the cadence to throw Von Miller off, right? You're not really seeing that from Bonito yet, but that's something that he could continue to develop over time. So let's see. David for first string Waterboy. David and Spotty tonight are going to be demoted to Waterboy status. Nicole, Mims, Vele, Sutton, Franklin, Bryant, and Sherfield is what I'm thinking. You could replace Sherfield for Prescorn, I think, potentially. I mean, Sherfield last week had 1 catch for 5 yards. So, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that he wasn't doing as well? He wasn't getting as open? Or does it tell you he wasn't playing as much because he has more of a solidified roster spot, right? I don't know. Yeah, solid 6 there. It could be any of those guys, man. But again, I think 6 is going to be the number they go with. Nicole, I think he could be better than Kroll. Yeah, don't tell Adam that. Our other guy, Adam, who is the self-proclaimed president and CEO of the Lucas Kroll fan club. Yeah, let's look at this. Lucas Kroll last week had 1 catch for 3 yards. Okay. Tight end wise, I think he'll make the team, right? But I think tight end, you're going to see probably Lucas Kroll trying to fight with Atkins for that number 2 spot. And do we carry? I don't think we carry 3 tight ends. I mean, maybe we'll carry 3 tight ends. So Evan Ingram, Lucas Kroll, Nate Atkins. But between Lucas Kroll and Nate Atkins, who's going to get more time on the field? And they're probably going to be used for more blocking, right? Evan Ingram isn't a blocker. He can block, but he's just not a great blocker. He is a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He's supposed to be getting open in the middle of the field. Whereas Lucas Kroll and Nate Atkins, definitely bigger, buffer guys, are going to be able to make some more of those blocks. So either way, it'll be interesting. Paul, be myself. Screwed up George Thorogood quote. Got it. Be myself. Okay. I like it. 6 wide receivers. Yes, with Sherfield and Bryant playing special teams. Okay. Yep. I agree with that. I'm flying through these guys so we can get them all. I don't want to leave anybody left. Let's see. Okay. So on the homepage, guys, near the bottom, there is a place for you to submit a message to us through the website there. Type in where you think you found the Easter egg. And if you are correct, right now, there's not a way for me to respond to you through the website. I'm building it by myself. Bear with me. It's going to be a work in progress over the next year plus. But send me a message. If you put like your Facebook or email or something in there, I will tell you if you're correct or not. Otherwise, you have to come back to the show and I will announce to everybody if you want. So, but yes, on the homepage at the bottom, there's a place for you to submit us a message, and I might move that up so it's more visible. But that's the other thing, guys. On that place on the website, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, I make those shorts throughout the week. Adam makes some shorts throughout the week. If there's a topic you want us to cover and make a video about, let us know. If you have a joke about one of the teams that we're playing that next week, and you want us to read about it, read it out loud for everybody, and laugh at the other team's expense, send us a message and send that stuff to us, guys. It's another way for you guys to interact with us throughout the season. So yeah, definitely go check that out. I'm calling it now. In the next 2 or 3 seasons, Benito will be in the talks for chasing a sack record. Would not surprise me. Not in the slightest, guys. Nicole, thank you. I knew I was getting something screwed up there. When there's 90 players on the roster. So look, Prescorn probably, yeah, you're right. Looking at him now, probably a practice squad tight end. I don't see him edging out Lucas Kroll or Nate Atkins, but yeah, Caden Prescorn, tight end, not wide receiver. Looking at practice squad spot. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate all you guys fact checking me during the shows. It keeps me honest. Let's see. Mims, our star special teamer. Oh man, Marvin Mims on that. Teams have got to hate kicking the ball to him. Honestly, yeah. No, Nicole, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. It happens from time to time. Not always, but I am known for being wrong sometimes. Paul, like and sub. Here's the thing, guys. Because it's our 10th anniversary, we're going to be giving away a ton of prizes throughout the regular season. And one of the ways to win at least one of those prizes, if not more, is going to be by following us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and Spotify, because I'm going to ask you guys to submit to us, pictures of you following us there. And for every place that you follow us, you're going to get entered into one of these prize drawings potentially. And, if we do this, wink, wink. And then, so if you just follow us now and get pictures, you're just going to be ready for when I ask you guys to send me the pictures. So I'm talking about Bo Nixters. I'm telling you right now, I've already decided if, knock on wood, if/when the Broncos hit 10 wins this season, we're giving away 3 Bo Nix jerseys, okay? And not going to tell you how we're going to give them away yet, but we're going to have 3 of those, and so we're going to have a ton of other stuff to give away throughout the course of the season. Roy, yeah, Lucas Kroll is not good. I think in the receiving aspect, yeah, but I think if you're using him more as a blocker, that's where you get the majority of the benefit of having Lucas Kroll on your roster, is what I'm thinking. So we'll see. I could be wrong. I'm not the coach. I don't know what's going on. So. Let's see. Easter egg, not under my hat, just a whole bunch of gray hairs, which is why I wear the hat. I can't hide this. You're just going to have to deal with the gray hair and the beard there. Sean says, I don't think Troutman makes it. Maybe not. Again, these are, when you have this much talent, how do you decide? Like, this is going to keep Sean Payton up at night. A lot of these decisions, because how do you make decisions like this? I really don't know. Let's see. Pre-game show at 6 a.m. on NFL Network, live in the United Kingdom in London. Is that where you're at, man? Are you in? Oh, you're talking about for the London game. Okay. So I didn't think you were in London. I know we have some London guys, but so yes. Kickoff at 6:30 a.m. I think that's 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time. I hope. Yeah, it's gonna be an early morning for me, guys. So hey, make sure when the Broncos are playing in London, you wake up early, so I'm not here by myself. Please. I will remind you as we get closer to that. Yeah, and we forgot we overlooked Troutman. Again, when there's 90 players on the roster, it's hard to keep them all straight. They all start sounding it. And how do people do this for a living where they can, it's because they do it for a living, but they're able to talk about the players on all 32 rosters. And some of them are even, experienced in football and hockey and baseball and basketball. And I don't know how you keep that information straight, because I can barely keep the Broncos under control, right? The fact that they have this many players in the preseason roster every year always just throws me off. No, Paul, I think Mims is going to be continuing to do kickoff return. I think, that's part of what he was so good. Now, I don't know, with some of these younger wide receivers, maybe they're more, you save Marvin Mims for the offensive plays. You don't want to get him hurt on a special teams return or something like that. But at the very minimum, punt return. But I don't know. Maybe you would see him still out there doing kickoff returns. I don't know. Dude, Ken, that's going to be a great game, man. Because we're playing the Jets. And the Jets, look, if you decide on who to draft and cut and trade based off of players' Madden scores that you ask your son about, you're a trash organization. So not worried about the Jets in any capacity. As long as we go out there and play well, we'll be doing just fine. So it's going to be a fun game for you to go to. And I know there are a ton of Broncos fans in London and in England. So you're going to be in very good company. Make sure you tell them all about us over there. Okay. We want some more fans from across the sea. Sean thinks Troutman makes it. Yep. He does know Sean Payton's offense. That's a very good point. Right. Hey, they're coming in fast though. I don't know if it's just work or what, but the gray hairs, man, every time I look, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm not going to dye my hair though, so you guys have to deal with it. Let's see. Paul says Sean loves Troutman. He has good hands. Giggity. Paul says because of the new kickoff rules. I get it to some degree. I don't like that they place the ball at the 35-yard line now. I think that's stupid. back in my day when football players, football teams had it tough, they started at the 25-yard line and they had to fight for the touchdowns, right? They weren't just placed a third of the way plus up, more than a third of the way up the field to begin with. I mean, like, come on. I get it. Injuries and blah, blah, blah. We want them to stay healthy. Okay. But Sean says, absolutely, Paul. And he is consistent. Sean Andrew Troutman is very consistent. So Adam Troutman. I knew it was Adam Troutman. So, guys, I have reached the end of the comments. No, I did, Sean. I did. We went 2 minutes over. Well, I started the show 2 minutes late. So right an hour, guys. I caught up to the comments. You guys gave me a challenge tonight. I love it. Look, guys, we're going to wrap it up. But before I do, give my closing thoughts. Don't leave yet. Hit that share button. Hit that like button. Follow us on all the podcast places. Go sign up at the website for free. If you find the Easter egg, send us a message on the website. And if you can't find the place to send us the message, send us let us know on Facebook so I can make that adjustment. Because I'm still trying to make it totally user-friendly and figure out how to space things out. And I've never built a website before, so I'm new to this as well. But yeah, let us know if you found the Easter egg. And if you did, again, you'll get free lifetime upgraded membership no matter what. And I hope we get big enough that I can start charging people $250 for membership for my website. But it's going to take a while. Either way, no matter what it costs, that one lucky person will never have to worry about it. And we'll get free access to all the content from here on out. So, okay, guys. You are all impressive. We keep doing this we've done this for 9 years, going to our 10th year now, because you guys are impressive. You guys keep coming back and listening to us talk. And as long as you guys keep doing that, we'll keep doing it. And that's why we're doing so many prize giveaways this year. That's why we always do the fan appreciation episode at the end of the season, because there'd be no reason for us to do this if it weren't for our fans. And so, I'm sitting here today. It's such a pleasure to be able to do this for you guys and bring Broncos Country together, because that's really why we started. It was just find a way to bring Broncos Country from wherever you are together, make some new friends, have some laughs, have some drinks, and just cheer on the Broncos, even when they weren't doing very well, which I think those days are behind us, at least for the time being. So, Angelo, you are awesome. To Gary, our marketing guy, helping out throughout the show with some of the comments and reminders there. You're fantastic. Thank you very much, Gary. Jose, let's go Broncos. 15 or 16 wins. It'll be so great. I think I'm already overshooting with 13, but man, oh man, you never know. And you guys, seriously, thanks for keeping me busy on a solo show. But man, look, Broncos, third preseason game, final preseason game. You'll see the starters again for a little bit at the beginning there. They're going up against the Saints, so they had better look good. Just say that. The Broncos in general had better look amazing. I think the spread for the game, we were talking last night, is only like 6.5 points. If you're a betting person, you might want to take the over on that. I might throw down a little bit of money because that seems a little low, especially after the way the Broncos beat the pants off the Cardinals here. So, look, it's last chance for some players to make the roster. And then from there, Sean Payton has a couple long days and nights ahead of him as they make the final decisions to whittle it down to 53 players and maybe see a trade or two somewhere in there. I don't know, guys, but watch out for it. So, okay, guys, you all take care. Thank you for tuning in. But we will see you Sunday or Saturday. Games at 11 Mountain Time. So we'll see you around 10 a.m. Saturday morning for the pregame tailgate talk show. And then don't forget to check out the pregame podcast, which will go up on the podcast platforms later on this week as well. But with that being said, it's been a pleasure. Love having you guys here. Love chatting with you guys. But after all that, I've got nothing left to say other than to end this show, as we always do, on a very strong Go Broncos. Take care, guys, and we will see you later.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know